Welcome to Unit 2, the purchasing process. In this module, we'll walk through the core objectives and responsibilities of the supply management function and explore how purchasing integrates with broader organizational strategy. We'll also look closely at the step-by-step purchasing process and how modern e-procurement tools transform purchasing efficiency and effectiveness. By the end of this chapter, you should be able to understand the key objectives of the supply management function, identify and explain the major responsibilities of supply management, and understand the purchasing process end-to-end, including how e-procurement technology enables accuracy, speed, and transparency. These learning objectives will guide how we interpret purchasing, not just as a transactional activity, but as a strategic capability for competitive advantage. Purchasing is more than placing orders. It is a structured and deliberate process. It begins with identifying user requirements, which means understanding stakeholder needs clearly and accurately. From there, we identify suppliers that can meet those needs, develop agreements, and put ordering mechanisms in place. We then ensure payment happens correctly and on time, verify that the need was actually met, and finally, drive continuous improvement. This last step is critical. A closed-loop purchasing process ensures learning, improvement, and alignment with evolving stakeholder needs. Purchasing has both tactical and strategic responsibilities. Tactically, purchasing ensures supply assurance, sourcing the right products or services at the right price, specification, quantity, and time. It includes responsibilities such as contract and purchase order prep, records maintenance, and improving the P2P process. Strategically, purchasing must influence and shape long-term business performance. This includes building strong supplier relationships, embedding procurement experts within stakeholder groups, and contributing to organizational competitiveness. Strategic roles include demand management, category strategies, contract management, and supplier relationship management. Of course, overall goals influenced by both strategic roles and tactical responsibilities include supply continuity, managing the purchasing process, supply-based management, engagement of stakeholders, and developing sourcing strategies. When we talk about supply assurance, we're really talking about risk management and reliability. The goal is to always have the right materials or services available when needed. This means selecting suppliers who can deliver consistently on price, specification, quantity, and timing. Suppliers who fail in any one of these areas can cause costly delays, quality failures, or operational disruptions. A core responsibility of supply management is operating an efficient procure-to-pay or P2P process. This includes setting staffing levels, managing administrative budgets, and ensuring staff are professionally trained. It also means capturing accurate data, improving contracting methods, supporting spend visibility, enhancing payment processes, and improving user satisfaction. The E2P process is the backbone of operational purchasing efficiency. Another major responsibility is managing supplier performance. This includes selecting competitive suppliers, developing new suppliers, and improving existing ones. High-performing supply chains proactively cultivate supplier capabilities. They don't just react to poor performance, they build strong partnerships that elevate performance across the network. Purchasing does not operate in a vacuum. Internal customers, engineering, operations, marketing, IT, and others have a major stake in purchasing outcomes. To be successful, procurement must understand stakeholder needs and embed purchasing professionals within key groups when necessary. This alignment ensures that purchasing decisions support broader business requirements. Strategic purchasing contributes to long-term growth and competitive advantage. Supply managers gather intelligence on supply markets, identify emerging technologies, and develop supply options and contingency plans. A well-designed supply strategy ensures that the organization has access to innovative, competitive, and reliable suppliers capable of supporting future business goals. The core purchasing process consists of several foundational elements: spend analysis, demand management, category management, contracting, cost management, P2P management, supplier relationship management, and strategy development. Each of these components builds on the previous one, creating a comprehensive end-to-end purchasing system. We will discuss each of these elements in more detail throughout the duration of the course, but we will talk about each one briefly in this video. Spend analysis is the starting point. We collect historical spending by commodity, convert spend into units and rates of consumption, and examine spending rationale with business partners. This analysis drives strategies in demand management, commodity management, and risk management. Without good spend visibility, it's nearly impossible to optimize sourcing or control costs. Next is demand management, shaping demand in ways that balance stakeholder needs, cost, and risk. Specifications and statements of work, SOUs, must be clear, performance-based where appropriate, and aligned with organizational standards. Challenging, over-engineered, or outdated specifications can often unlock significant cost savings without compromising performance. In category management, procurement sets sourcing policies, develops supply-based capacity, and establishes requirements for supplier compliance. Supplier evaluation includes selection criteria, scoring models, qualification steps, and sometimes reverse auctions. The goal is to find the best fit suppliers who can deliver value over time. Purchasing owns the contract management process, from drafting accurate terms and conditions to aligning contracts with category strategy. Procurement teams maintain contract databases, ensure compliance, and trigger proactive sourcing before contracts expire. This prevents lapses, unplanned renewals, and supply disruptions. Cost management requires understanding total cost of ownership, not just the purchase price, but the full lifecycle cost. This includes process costs, cost drivers, and gaps between assumptions and actual outcomes. Procurement teams also develop cost models to support negotiations and business case development. Automation is essential for efficient P2P processes. Modern tools streamline requisitioning, RFQs, contracting, approvals, receipts, invoicing, and performance measurement. Automated P2P reduces cycle time, cost, and error while improving transparency. Mature procurement organizations follow structured, repeatable strategic processes. These strategies align with executive vision, incorporate supply market insights, set clear goals, and include communication plans for stakeholders. A strong strategy positions procurement as a strategic contributor, not merely a transactional function. Supplier Relationship Management, or SRM, focuses on day-to-day coordination, risk mitigation, and performance monitoring. It includes continuity planning, understanding supplier challenges, exploring opportunities for joint value creation, maintaining scorecards, and ensuring alignment with contract terms. Strong SRM practices transform suppliers into partners. This figure provides a visual overview of the procure-to-pay cycle. Think of it as the operational engine of purchasing, from identifying needs to paying suppliers. Every step must be integrated, timely, and well-documented to ensure reliability and efficiency. We will discuss these separate elements throughout the duration of the course. E-procurement delivers significant advantages, including dramatically reduced paperwork, shorter cycle times, fewer errors, reduced overhead, improved communication, faster order and invoice processing. Organizations that successfully implement e-procurement see measurable improvements in cost, accuracy, and agility. However, we also need to keep in mind that e-procurement comes with downsides, including but not limited to at times lack of reliability, as well as sometimes resulting in strained issues with lack of personalization. Forecasting and planning begins with identifying needs, projecting spending patterns, and collaborating with internal customers. Increasing the percentage of spend captured through procurement is a major goal. It prevents maverick buying and ensures compliance. Organizations should quickly identify suppliers to fulfill unplanned needs. At times, spot buys and open-ended arrangements can help organizations respond quickly to unplanned needs. Requisitions, or SOWs, must include a clear description of the required material or service, quality and performance expectations, quantities, dates, and estimated costs, account coding and required signatures, as well as dates of requisition and date of obtainment. Accurate documentation here prevents delays and misunderstandings later in the process. Traveling requisitions, or barcode systems, accompany a purchased item and record usage, suppliers, prices, and reorder points. This is especially useful for regularly purchased items where automation can significantly reduce administrative effort. Forecasts integrate actual and anticipated customer demand, inventory levels, new product requirements, and ERP/MRP system outputs. This information drives purchasing activity and ensures materials are available when production or service schedules require them. The reorder point system is one of the most widely used methods for ongoing purchasing. When inventory reaches a predetermined level, a standard order quantity is triggered automatically. This keeps inventory flowing without constant manual intervention. Stock checks, also known as cycle counts, verify that physical inventory matches system records. Errors may occur due to incorrect locations, unrecorded damage, theft, or short shipments. Accurate inventory is essential for reliable forecasting and purchasing. Sourcing teams bring together experts from purchasing, engineering, finance, operations, and the end-user groups. These teams evaluate needs before they become urgent and identifies potential suppliers even before the actual need occurs, which improves supplier selection and reduces cycle time. Items can be described by market grade, brand, detailed specifications, or performance characteristics. For custom or complex items, prototypes or samples help reduce ambiguity through specifications and written descriptions. The goal is to translate user needs into clear, enforceable supplier expectations. Selecting suppliers involves choosing between existing suppliers, preferred suppliers, and new suppliers. While existing suppliers may have familiarity and a given track record, it can also hinder innovation over time. Whereas with new suppliers, maverick spending, say buying outside approved channels, is a common problem that procurement must monitor. The process is also more costly with a need to identify potential suppliers, evaluate and qualify those suppliers, and deal with negotiation or competitive bidding. Supplier selection must be deliberate, structured, and aligned with organizational goals. Competitive bidding works best when requirements are clear, volume is high, qualified suppliers exist, sufficient time is available. It also works best when there are situations where no preferred suppliers exist. Competitive bidding ensures fairness and cost competitiveness when the specifications are stable and well-defined. On the other hand, negotiation is more appropriate when specifications are unclear, performance factors vary, risks are uncertain, or suppliers need early involvement, including an inability to determine risks and costs prior to contract, or need substantial lead time to develop and produce requested items or services. Negotiation allows more flexibility, collaboration, and problem-solving than competitive bidding. An RFQ invites suppliers to quote pricing and terms. It must include all relevant information, including a clear due date and whether substitute offers are acceptable. The standard practice is soliciting at least 3 bids to ensure competitive pricing and transparency. Specifications or blueprints are essential for complex or untested items. They often include technical drawings, samples, and sometimes formal RFP processes. The more complex the requirement, the more detailed the specifications must be. Supplier evaluation includes developing criteria, assigning weights, assessing design capabilities, and possibly using reverse auctions. This may include utilizing the balanced scorecard approach, which you will learn about more later on. The goal is to find the most capable supplier, not just the lowest cost option. Once suppliers are selected, purchasing prepares contract documents and purchase orders, resolves discrepancies, and ensures accurate record keeping. Continuous performance evaluation and process improvement occur throughout the supplier relationship. Seen here is an example of a purchase order. A purchase order is a legally binding document visible to multiple departments. It includes key details needed by accounts payable, receiving, traffic, quality, and procurement teams. Accuracy here protects the organization and ensures operational clarity. There are also blanket purchase orders, which cover repeated purchases over a set time horizon, often a year. They reduce administrative effort by allowing multiple releases under a single PO. An escape clause is essential to protect the organization if supplier performance declines. This slide outlines the receiving flow, from arrival inspection to discrepancy reporting, inventory updates, and payment validation. Receiving is a critical control point for detecting shortages, damages, or errors. Receiving involves reviewing the packing slip, confirming the bill of lading, completing discrepancy reports, updating supplier performance data, and settling invoices. Procurement's responsibilities extend beyond ordering. The purchasing cycle doesn't end when goods arrive. To improve P2P performance, organizations must secure leadership support, map existing processes, involve stakeholders, explore technology, conduct pilots, train users, and continuously refine the system. Re-engineering isn't a one-time project. It's an ongoing journey toward better efficiency and control. Let's conclude this unit by revisiting each learning objective and summarizing the key insights for each one. The first objective of supply management is supply assurance, making sure the organization gets the right materials or services at the right price, in the right quantity, at the right specification, and at the right time. Beyond that, supply management contributes directly to organizational competitiveness by reducing total cost of ownership, managing supply risk, supporting innovation through supplier capabilities, building a robust and diverse supply base, and ensuring alignment between purchasing decisions and long-term business goals. In short, the purpose of supply management is not just to buy things. It is to strategically enable reliable operations, cost efficiency, and long-term value. In terms of the second learning objective, supply management has broad responsibilities that extend far beyond placing orders. Its key responsibilities include managing the procure-to-pay process efficiently and accurately, ensuring qualified suppliers are selected, evaluated, and developed, aligning goals and expectations with internal stakeholders, conducting spend analysis, demand management, and category management, developing contracts, managing compliance, and monitoring supplier performance, driving continuous improvement across sourcing, contracting, performance measurement, and supplier relationships. These responsibilities position procurement as both a strategic partner and an operational steward within the organization. And finally, in regards to the third objective, the purchasing process begins with forecasting and identifying stakeholder needs, followed by developing clear specifications or statements of work. Next, procurement identifies and evaluates suppliers, chooses between competitive bidding or negotiation, and issues purchase orders or blanket orders. Once goods or services arrive, receiving teams verify accuracy and report discrepancies. Finally, invoicing and payment close the loop. E-procurement tools enhance the entire process by reducing paperwork and cycle times, improving accuracy and communication, automating requisitioning, approvals, ordering, and invoicing, providing spend visibility and data for continuous improvement. Overall, e-procurement makes the purchasing process faster, more transparent, and more reliable.